Tuesday, and welcome to another edition of XFeed. We're still recapping a lot of the stories from last week as we took a break from being sick. Again, hopefully you guys don't get it. Keep seeing everyone posting about it, at least locally. That being said, another day, and what's the headline? What's the headline on another day in this space? 24-hour total liquidations, $510.6 million. Every single day. It's like clockwork. It is absolutely like clockwork. There's this really cool tool over within the virtuals ecosystem over on Base, if you haven't seen it, called Whale Intel. Now, you might not really care about this if you're not really paying attention to what's going on with all these AI agents and whatnot, but it gives some insights. It gives some track record, or not track records, but you can watch the scanner as different transactions go through. You can set it so you can see if there's like a $5,000 buy or something pretty large on whatever. But the market sentiment is strongly bearish. The total FDV stands at approximately 1.11 billion, with a net fully diluted value movement of minus $66 million. Now this is talking specifically about the virtuals ecosystem, but if you've looked out on the charts, it's pretty rough. But if you haven't seen, again, super cool tool. It's whaleintel.ai if you are wanting to check that out. Now, more news about virtuals, and I mentioned that I should be paying attention to that, and it's because there's just a lot of stuff that seems to be happening, and especially on the AI agent front. But they now have it where you can just text prompt create a Pudgy Penguin video. Lot of crazy cool stuff coming out from it. If you're wanting to see what this is like as well, it's at @butler_agent. If you just direct message it, it'll give you a whole bunch of extra prompts and stuff. So if you don't want to like post it on the timeline, I think you can just like message it and it will still do the exact same thing. We had Chimpers on the RWA Segments podcast, which the link is in the description below if you're on YouTube, or on my bio on X. But Insight is the co-founder. We got around to hear the nitty gritty, but one of the most interesting components of it is the fact that they are just absolutely skyrocketing on socials. #1 most followed and liked on TikTok. #1 most followed on Facebook. 88.5 million views on a single TikTok video, the highest in Web3 native brand. #1 on Social Blade ranking, which I'm not really familiar with what that is, but #2 most followed on Instagram. And I think that I just heard some snow fall off of a balcony somewhere. Holy smokes, that's terrifying. Again, the fact that Chimpers are able to do that, amazing. We'll see what that regards in terms of like the brand, because I think we're just going to see more and more people trying to do essentially this in their own way. But how many different brands of kind of like the this isn't going to be like the right phrasing, but like kind of like the cute sentimental aspect, because I feel like we have the Pudgy Penguins, we have Chimpers. Do we kind of run that back through a lot of different other types of animals? Are these ones going to be the ones that just kind of run free and truly take over the timeline for the time being? What else are both of these brands going to end up doing? I saw a post earlier where Luca Nuts was like in New York and they had some like Pengu ads around Times Square and whatnot. So kind of cool to see. But also 895 million views for Chimpers on TikTok. And then in second place, the Pudgy Penguin. I don't know what the hell that is, but I guess somebody made like a meme variation of Pudgy Penguins. And then Pudgy Penguins, Cleanosaurs, and then more Pengus. And then there was just more variations of Pengus and Penguins. That's nuts that there's like actually that many of them out there. And then V-Friends are amongst that as well, but a little bit towards the bottom comparatively. In the hobby of collectible cards, have you guys noticed that it's just the craziest things are happening there? You think that it happens within the Web3 sides, but it looks like Walmart will be implementing new rules this week as a response to reselling clearing shelves of product. I feel like a couple months ago, I was opening social media feeds and people were having like all-out brawls in the middle of Costco. Trying to get cases of things. So effective Wednesday, November 5th, again, this is from last week, customers may purchase a maximum of 5 packs and or boxes of trading cards per visit. To support this policy, point-of-sale systems and online purchases have been updated and will automatically enforce the purchase limit at checkout. Why are we making this change? We are introducing this limit to make sure all fans and collectors have a fair opportunity to enjoy trading cards. Our goal is to make these popular items available to as many customers as possible and to maintain a safe and positive shopping environment for everyone. So does this like register a card? Does the cashiers have to recognize the face to say, hey, even though we know that there's a bunch of like self-checkouts at most of these places? I don't really know how like you prevent that. I guess you can like prevent a person from doing it in like a single transaction, but they could just like walk out the store, walk back in, maybe change their shirt, and then bada boom, bada bing. Do you guys see how crazy the World Series jackpot was? So Arik from Oshawa won $25 million, and apparently it's tax-free. Can you imagine just casually winning $25 million from buying a 50-50 ticket? Now, I've never seen 50-50 tickets offered in like the dollar value that they had, because you could actually buy like $600 worth in like a single go during that World Series. So curious if that was a $5 ticket, if that was a $600 one, or maybe even more. Rekt Brands, you know, the water beverage. Well, I should just say beverage because it's more than just water. But Rekt Brands doing token buybacks. As I've said, towards the end of this year, we've just seen the notion being buybacks. Rekt Brands doing that for their Rekt coin, buying $103,000. People ask the question all the time for these different NFTs, for these different collectibles that are connected digitally, how is there going to be value that is brought back? Some have gone to giving equity. Rekt Brands is buying their own token back. Do we see this where we see other brands that have success within the world go and buy back their NFTs? Because currently it's only just talking about like the tokens, right? But what about the collectibles? Do we see that being the next thing? And again, to prove how hot Pokemon cards are, people are getting sent to NFL games just to simply open a card pack on the side of the field just for social media content. What a world. Tomorrow is a very big day. Maybe, maybe not. Do we feel like there's much speculation around what's going on with Otherside? If you're not familiar, Otherside is Yuga Labs' metaverse world. And they did that partnership with Amazon not that long ago, where, if we check this out right quick, there's a little bit of a breakdown here from Journey regarding that, but they sold the Boximus NFT collectibles. Yo, Peckham, what's going on? Hi, Scooby. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We got some clues to find now. That's like the song, right? Roughly. But Otherside is coming tomorrow, like the Nexus, which I think is like the persistent state, or at least the area where maybe the Kodas are. I'm like half paying attention, to be like totally honest, because I think all they've posted is just like cool little images with the Koda and showing the area. Welcome to Otherside. The Koda Nexus will be live November 12th. Tomorrow we open the doors to the Koda Nexus. It's a chapter for Otherside. So I don't know. We've seen a lot of speculation where somebody went out and bought 2 Chaos Otherside deeds for 8.75 ETH each, which that's a lot of money. And obviously these are like the most rare ones you could purchase. But do we find where the idea of a metaverse land actually succeeds? Because remember what we used to say. All it takes is one game to show this metaverse land is viable, and then boom, it starts a whole class, right? And speculation around there. And it feels like going into tomorrow, arguably somewhat as an outsider, I'm like, I don't really feel anybody talking about this. Now, it could very well be with the crypto market obviously going way up on the weekend, and then we're having this like, wee, woohoo. Didn't know we signed up for Wonderland tickets, but here we are. Or is it kind of going in with like just, hey, this is going to launch. Nobody do the stupid FOMO stuff you always typically do, because that that might be it. But the Nexus is coming tomorrow. So a reminder, Amazon, they sold a Otherside collectible avatar on their platform not that long ago. From Journey Crypto, Amazon is making a major shift in their gaming strategy. They announced major cuts to their gaming arm and shutting down their MMO Play New World. At the same time, they launched their Otherside Meta partnership, along with their first ever NFT sale on an Amazon-branded Otherside avatar. of N. Many people are looking at this avatar sale at face value, just an avatar you can use in Otherside, but there is something much bigger happening here. Amazon and Otherside are partnering to sell digital assets and NFTs to the world in a more user-friendly way than ever before. Buying the avatar on Amazon is extremely straightforward and doesn't require any Web3 experience. True. You buy with your normal Amazon payment method and get a code you can take to the other side to redeem as an NFT and instantly start using your digital asset. This simplifies the process of launching NFTs for big brands while giving their customers a digital asset they can use immediately. If Amazon did it and saw success, hundreds of other big brands will also do it through the Amazon platform. These brands may also do partnerships with BYC on merch, exclusive items, and other metaverse collabs. This is the birth of the next wave. Now, this is not really like a hot take by any means, because we kind of have said this for like a while, right? Like we all know, and the reason why we're paying attention to what's going on is clearly brands are going to come into the space, have an avatar within a game, easy peasy, right? But you needed that game that people wanted to play, and Amazon decided, hey, you know what? We think that this Otherside thing is going to be that. Now, the question is, how many other brands jump suit and think the same way? In the world of Meebits, Adam Weitsman, which we've brought up a few times here and there, guys, absolutely loaded and just sweeping NFTs like no tomorrow, adding 229 Meebits to his collection. This was after, or sorry, I guess the same time that the Crypto Dick Butts acquisition happened, Heavy Metal acquisition, where he's now like a part owner in it. Again, you can make yourself a huge name within this space, just going out there and sweeping these different NFTs, and Adam is doing a killer job of just that. So a little bit of a security reminder here. I saw this pop in my timeline from Tim saying, be careful out there. I just got scammed out of my Series 1 pug from VFriends. It's my fault and I messed up. Okay, so what in the hell happened to it? I was approached in the VFriends Discord. They were part of a few Discord groups I was in. It was a slow play. Over the course of a month, we chatted about selling it, finally came to an agreement last night. They were having trouble with the purchase, so they started a group chat with admin of the other NFT, and I got tricked. I even checked the admin profile, looked legit. I've done so many great trades with people from Discord. I let my guard down and lost 4 massive NFTs. Just never trade. Just never, ever, ever, ever trade. Have you noticed that we just don't have the trading platforms anymore? Back in the day, there used to be one that you could do that for like individual NFTs. And I want to say that OpenSea offered it at a point and then rescinded support for it. I don't know if enough people were just doing it, but generally speaking, like, I get you want to trade, but if there's nothing like built into whatever like system, like Disney Pinnacle has built-in trading on their platform, just don't ever trade with somebody. It's like 95% chance it's going to go horribly. And then I saw this as well. It turns out I was just scammed. We talked and he blocked. If you know him, please unfollow him and flag him. We don't need to entertain. That's coming from Draco. And Bo just saying, I can't emphasize enough how much you should never trust a DM asking you to trade an NFT. And this is, yeah, absolutely, totally agree. Just as a simple PSA. So we're at a point where from all the turbulence, we have the dust settling, for lack of a better term. And with that, we are going to see some of the biggest pushes from the teams that are around, because only the survivors are left, right? You have the people that are well-funded, they've figured out how to generate revenue, they have a diehard community, you can go down the list, but there's only X amount of things that have really got the attention. And so Saigar is saying regarding Abstract, October was a huge month in terms of getting the groundwork set up for exponential growth in the future for Abstract. Excited for what's to come. And again, we could go down a list. We're starting to see a lot of founders, people that are involved in different teams, talking extraordinarily bullish, and I would argue for relatively good reason. Mastercard is reportedly in talks to acquire crypto firm Zero Hash for up to $2 billion to enable 24/7 stablecoin payment. Excuse me. So $2 billion, not too shabby. And you get one deal that's done, and then Coinbase is calling off their $2 billion deal with a stablecoin startup, BVNK. So token buybacks and stablecoins are the two hot things. Now, how do you capitalize on that? Those are the two questions. In 48 hours, we welcomed the biggest number of new and returning Fortnite players since last holiday season. Now, this is coming officially from Fortnite. If you remember, we watched the Simpsons trailer and sitting here like, holy crap. I don't have Fortnite installed. I haven't played Fortnite in months, but that looks fun as hell. The first Fortnite The Simpsons short popped to #1 on Disney Plus today, and the US move over Shelbyville. So crazy, eh? A little bit IP can go a very, very long way. So there was a lot of complaints on the timeline around Azuki the last little bit. Have you noticed that? I'm not going to read the entire announcement. We'll do that for a little bit later. $2 billion isn't what it used to be. Listen, Peckham, can you imagine what we could do with $2 billion? Listen, you could have $1 billion, I could have $1 billion, and then we could argue about what we're going to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's still a lot, but I hear you. So Zagabond from Azuki. I think we're defining success differently. Like I mentioned, I'm not running an art business, nor am I an artist in the traditional sense. Success to me is if the Azuki IP is worth billions as a franchise. Success for an individual digital artist could be that their art collection has a strong group of collectors. I know you're an avid art collector, but I'd encourage you to think more of from a commercial perspective on a growing business, which means there needs to be sustainable revenue that are being generated. My ambitions run far beyond running a niche community of collectors who appreciate the Azuki art. I want to build a multi-billion-dollar franchise with an IP that has a story and will capture the hearts of millions of fans around the world. Around the world. So this is the thing. It goes back to the Rekt Brands. Okay, does Azuki end up doing buybacks? Or are they just in the, hey, we're trying to create like a big brand and we hope that like the value transcends beyond all of that? But everyone has like huge aspirations. Yo, Jason, sorted by AI 2049 token. Is that on virtuals or what is that? So you hear from Azuki, right, the founder, in Zagabond. And I want to play a clip here from the most recent episode that dropped today from Parallel. So if you're familiar with Parallel, or if you're not, it is a trading card game and a whole bunch of other stuff, but they are building an entire sci-fi world, very similar to how Azuki's trying to build an anime world. And the aspirations for all of these guys are so high, and it's really cool listening to them. So here's a quick bit from my conversation with Koji. Rest, where now you guys have kind of created an own world where you have Wayfinder, which is sort of like an AI agent that you're able to tell it what you want. You have the Parallel TCG, so if somebody's into trading card games, you're able to play that. You've been quoted as saying that you're wanting to create your own gaming category as a group, and that's how Colony came about in the first place. So there's so many different angles to go with this, and we're going to try to mash it all together. With the scope of all of this, Koji, was that the intention from day one to really create this massive parallel world?
It depends on who you ask. I think that if you asked our CEO and one of my co-founders, he'd be like, absolutely. This is exactly what we're trying to do, and we're doing it. If you ask me, no. It started out as just a bunch of us in COVID being like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did the thing that we were always talking about doing, which is like, let's make a game and see if people like it, you know? And it is Sasha's superpower, that's our CEO, that he dreams big, and like we wouldn't be anywhere without his thrust. I mean, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but the whole thing kind of started. We cold messaged Chad Hurley, who's the founder of YouTube, on Twitter, and we were like, hey, we got a crazy idea, hear us out. And I don't know why, but he messaged us back and was just like, yeah, let's set up a call, basically. And then we did, and he was like interested, you know? And so that was the beginning of our journey in earnest. But
imagine just like messaging the co-founder of YouTube being like, hey, we want to do like an NFT card game. And he's like, you know what? Let's get on a call. And he's like, you guys are going to make it. And listen, Parallel is a huge entity within the Web3 space. So if you're wanting to hear the full renditions of that about 30-minute podcast, again, the link's in the description down below or in my bio on X if you guys want to save it. Would appreciate any ratings as well if you happen to have an iPhone, and if you just go to like Apple Podcasts, you'll be able to scroll on RWA segments and go down, and ratings are super appreciated on that front. I believe you're able to do that over on Spotify as well. Just in, Ripple raises $500 million at a $40 billion valuation. Okay, so Peckham doesn't get out of bed for less than 30 million. So we got 500 million on the table if you're a part of Ripple. That's what we're talking about. Craziness. Craziness. Think of the different money that's coming out there. And then you go on the timeline and everybody's just talking about like, yep, bear market, we're going to die. It's awful, terrible, to zero. Like, I don't know. I feel like some of these headlines don't match up to what people are saying out there. And we got Hot Wheels and vending machines now. Talk about how times have changed. I remember back in like elementary school, there used to be like a food vending machine, and they had like these little like small Oreo packages that I bought like all the time. I think they had like Bigfoot candy as well. Big fan. Now they don't sell food, they sell collectibles. What a time. Now, tomorrow, we're doing something a little bit different. Do you know who Derek Snook is? You know who Derek Snook is? Well, you're going to find out who in the hell Derek Snook is. So this guy's
being honest, folks,
an absolute legend. Apparently, he's been involved in like actually making a marketplace, and he's got one of the craziest Major League Baseball digital collectible collections that I've seen out there. So we're going to learn a little bit about him, the marketplace, past, thoughts on digital collectibles. For anybody that's in the Futureverse ecosystem as well, this is all like Candy Digital stuff. So we'll talk a little bit about kind of the fallout from there. I saw somebody else post that was from like the Bat Cowl community saying Candy Digital hasn't said anything regarding the root network. And so they're like removing their node. We still have no idea what's going on with the receivership. We're still waiting to find out what's going on with auto blockchain, which was like a component of it. It doesn't sound like there's a whole lot of conversations happening around root in general. But around, well, I guess I would say 2 hours ago tomorrow. Yeah. 2 hours ago tomorrow, we'll have Derek on. So if you guys are wanting to tune in, it's going to be about 5 p.m. EST. Yo, Ayubal, holy smokes, what's going on? Ayubal, I feel like every once in a while I just like pop by to bring up Top Shot, and then I never see you again until the next time that we get to hear about Top Shot. So if we're going to go look at the market today because we want to like really not be happy with ourselves, Hardcore coming soon with Otherside. Can you imagine a partnership between Otherside and NBA Top Shot? Would be absolutely insane. So Bitcoin's at 102,932. It's like, look, these charts have been insane. Yeah, Roham is still in charge for sure. Like, look at the changes within these things. Just bang, boom, ba, ba. You know, like Tarzan, when it's like trash in the camp, ba da boop, zabada, da 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 da. Everybody's just trashing the camp. These exchanges or whoever are just like absolutely trash on the market. Unreal. But that's going to do it for this edition of XFeed. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, if you are wanting to listen to that full podcast with Koji, it's super insightful and we get some like really funny stories out of him. And I would love for you guys to check that out. But Ayubal, thank you for coming through. Jason, you as well. And Peckham, good to see you as per usual. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. And I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.